Yes, everybody, welcome back to the Fixture List. My name's Stephen Howson. That is Joe Smith. All right, mate?
Hello, you all right?
I'm all right. You all right?
I'm doing all right, yeah. Got a lot of stuff to look forward to this week, haven't we?
Not really.
No, it's all been cancelled, hasn't it?
A lot of it's getting cancelled.
I know.
United have got, from my calculations, LASK next week. Obviously, we play tonight, but we've got LASK next week. And if we don't play that game, or they do that one behind closed doors, we're not at Old Trafford until, like, middle of April.
Pretty weird, isn't it? And it's getting sketchy as well with, obviously, we saw City Arsenal postponed yesterday. That didn't take place. Like, there are the order of things is getting weird. We're drifting towards the Serie A situation of things being postponed.
I mean, like, we're recording this on Wednesday. There's a half a chance that there's been an announcement in the 12 hours or so since we've recorded this for it to actually happen. But I think there's a postponement or behind closed doors weekend at least coming in the Premier League. I'm certain of it. I'm absolutely certain of it.
Yeah, definitely. It's scary, isn't it?
It's a little bit
disappointing and sad and scary, but it's the most. I've never seen this. I mean, I don't think it's ever happened, has it?
I like the way you looked at me and were like, Steve, you're older than me.
Well, I thought I don't know if you remember the Spanish flu in the 20s. Huh?
You mean that was 60 years prior to my birth?
Well, okay, 60 years, okay. I didn't know. I
don't remember that.
Right, okay. I don't know. I wonder how that affected the Premier League, though. Not the Premier League, the Football League, because it was around then. Had it come back from the First World War yet?
I think it did. It came back almost immediately. It comes back after World Wars with a bit of haste, doesn't it? Now, I don't know if that's a distraction thing. I don't know what that is, but it always seems to bounce in
really go for it,
really fast. Like,
well, that's how you know.
Are we finished? Can we crack on again?
Yeah.
Kinnell.
That's how you know it's serious when football's cancelled, because it's so sort of impervious to problems, isn't it? Nothing affects it.
Yeah.
We play no matter what.
We played on in the Second World War.
Yeah. Mad. So
the War League.
You know it's serious
don't know
when
come
games
up with
are
that
getting
name.
postponed and cancelled and stuff.
Yeah, and so I don't know where this is going to go. We are seeing people like start. Did no one wash their hands or wipe their ass prior to getting coronavirus in the country? What? Because
Don't need to.
bog roll and hand sanitizer gone.
Have a shower in the morning. Just go to the toilet hands free, both ends. Don't worry about it. That's what I do.
Isn't it mad though? That's the two things. And dry pasta. You absolute savages.
Yeah.
No sauces. Oldham ran out of chips.
What?
Yeah, Mick Ferry tweeted, he gone into Tesco in Oldham, the entire frozen chips things is gone. Oldham has got his priorities right.
Yeah, it has. None of this toilet roll stuff. You can wipe your arse on a frozen chip if worse comes to worse.
If need
Get
be.
any frozen chips in, spend your weekly wages on chips. You can do a lot of stuff with the chips.
Or you can just shower. There's no bug roll, just shower,
chips.
yeah.
Oh, right, sorry, I thought you meant just use chips as a loofah.
No, I just mean shower.
Oh, fair enough. I always used to eat frozen chips.
It's not very water conservation consciousness.
No.
Those words are roundabout right, weren't they?
I know what you meant.
Yeah, there you go. And that's all the language is for.
That's all the languages for.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously it's very serious. I think it's... I've had a look at the survivability of stuff, and it's like, for people our age, without underlying diseases or illnesses, pretty fine.
Yeah.
But old people...
Getting towards 20%, isn't it? Over 80, which is... I know people over 80 I quite like.
Yeah.
People are acting like, it's only old... Yeah, I like old people.
It's not. I mean, it's not just old people. Both my grandparents, they're in that real danger zone, and they've both got respiratory problems. So bad do if they get it. So I'm gonna go nowhere near them for a few months. I don't want to pass it on to them. And it's swilling around Manchester. It's not in the city centre yet, but I think Bury's got it, Buxton's got it. Some in Tameside. It's getting there.
What have they been doing out there? That's what I want to know.
I think it's mostly travel that's done it for a lot of people.
Not wishing
but here's the weird one for me. And I was thinking as soon as we were going into the ground for the derby, the guy that's patting you down, he's making physical contact with people. Why is he not using the wand?
I love the wand.
He's making physical contact with probably 1,500 people, every single steward that's on there, because we have to have that full pat down now after the bomb threat thing. And you're like, hang about, that's one surefire way to spread it to 1,000 people.
Yeah, but I was thinking another one. Imagine if someone who works at Subway gets it on the gloves. Or do you think a cheese and toasting can kill a coronavirus?
I have no idea.
No, scary though.
It is, honestly, it is scary because the infection rate seems to be lower than the flu.
Yeah,
but
it's harder to spread.
Survivability is
40 times more.
Yeah,
dangerous.
It is a lot more significant, and I think there's also that because of the weird incubation thing. I think this is roughly right. I'm not a scientist or a doctor, so if you're getting your medical advice off a football YouTube channel, that's on you, mate. But I think more or less the flu is about contagious while you're ill with it. Whereas coronavirus seems to have this weird incubation period, but you're contagious in that incubation period. So you're walking around feeling sound, giving people coronavirus. That's what's dodgy about it, is because people don't know they're sick.
It does rely on contact, I think, to transmit, whereas flu is airborne, isn't it? You can just cough on someone. I'm sure if you cough, spit on someone, but you can just get flu in the air. So like I said, it's not as contagious, but it is much more dangerous.
So stay safe, everybody. Maybe start washing your hands and wiping your ass, I guess, is a thing.
Nah, I've come this far, Steve.
Well, clearly some people have.
People acted like washing your hands is this new idea. What do you mean wash my hands? Can't I just handle raw chicken and then,
sneeze in it?
Yeah, hold my kid's hand walking to school. It's like, no, you shouldn't be washing your hands anyway.
Joe, what? I was going to say something really bad then.
I knew what you were going to say.
What?
Because I almost said it. No, don't matter, go on.
I was going to say from one virus.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. To a supposed other virus.
To what Jose Mourinho called Paul Pogba. And at the time, didn't like it. And at the time, I was also hearing, actually, Pogba's uniting the players and saying, fuck this guy. Let's play for the badge and play for yourselves, which, that's a message I can get behind.
Yeah.
However...
Well, this is coming off the back of the news from the Daily Mail, isn't it? Where they're saying that Paul Pogba is willing to sign...
Definitely, by the way.
Do you think?
Yeah.
From who, though? That's the thing.
Raiola.
Well, it could be from Raiola, it could be from the club to try and get more money for Pogba, it could be from Pogba and Raiola.
That's the thing, it's like, and you mentioned this earlier on the news, didn't you? The circus around Pogba means that you can just make up a conspiracy theory and it's believable.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's gone so conspiracy with Pogba, isn't it? Like, is he even injured? Is he telling his manager and his brothers to say this? Is he telling them not to? But they're still saying, like, who knows what's going on? But they're saying that he wants to stay and that he's willing to sign a new contract. But do you think that's just because he's, there's no market for him and his agent is trying to make it seem like he's decided to stay?
I think the market for him is a huge factor in this. I don't think he's just looked at Bruno and gone, oh, I want to score goals for United. I don't think that's been the case. I think he's gone, they've tried to shop him round for probably 7 or 8 months because he tried to get out in the summer and we was just offered a pittance for him, a laughable amount for him.
Is it 25 million in
Yerry Mina and like 30, 40 million. Yeah. You're like, no, at all.
No.
Not in today's market, certainly not in any sensible market for a player of that value, in his prime, World Cup winner, etc. So absolutely not. I think there's probably something in lack of viable buyers for him. Because there is like 3 places he could go. You're looking at probably Real Madrid or Barcelona, because they just lump them in together.
Yeah.
PSG, Juve.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Where else is he going? I don't see Germany paying that much for him.
Bayern is the one other team that could maybe do it. I mean, and then you've got Chelsea and City. But I doubt we'd sell them to them. And in fact, I'm certain we wouldn't. But I suppose then that brings us on to the point of, do you want him to stay?
I don't want him to stay.
Really?
Yeah, and I tweeted something yesterday on this subject, essentially, and people was like, what, you don't want to keep hold of Pogba? No. Unfortunately, you can't just take Paul Pogba, the footballer, out of this and go, look at what he does on the football pitch. I've defended him to the hilt and I'll continue to defend him. He's been, on the field, pretty successful for United.
Yeah, better than people give him credit for.
Well better than people give him credit for. Probably slightly under what we thought we were going to get. Slightly under.
Yeah.
Probably in the consistency thing.
Yeah.
But in mitigation to that, United haven't been great in this
terrible,
time.
And he's been clearly our best player.
Yeah. And I wonder, with better players around him, like let's say you did play him with Bruno for a dozen games towards the end of the season, I would very much expect Pogba to look good in those games.
Yeah. Because we've given that, not excuse, but we've given that reasoning to Rashford's dip in form without Martial, and then he came back and he was great, and vice versa in the last few weeks until Bruno arrived. The sort of growing consensus around Martial was that he's not in a great run of form, and then Bruno comes back all of a sudden, he's got 4 goals in 5 games. Pogba has been the main man in that midfield alongside no one of quality, pretty much.
And if you're the opposition manager,
putting extra players in with him.
Well, yeah, you're the opposition manager. You go, how do I make sure we win this game? And the first thing is, well, we got to shut Pogba down. So every game he's playing against, we got to shut Pogba down. Now, we've said this loads of times, haven't we? When you look at Manchester City's team, you go, right, I need to get hold of De Bruyne.
Okay. David Silva.
Okay, all right, he's got him.
Okay, Bernardo Silva.
I've got to get him as
I've
well.
got Raheem Sterling.
And Aguero. Right, so you can't put that much emphasis on one player, which you could and have with Pogba. Now, if you pull out, you go Bruno and Pogba. You as an opposition manager go, okay, we're going to do something about both, but not the complete shackling that maybe Pogba used to get.
Well, we saw it against Chelsea before. Do you know when Chelsea, Diego Costa was winding down a little bit, they hadn't redeveloped the midfield, they had an aging Fabregas in there. We saw Ander Herrera just sit on Eden Hazard for games, and we beat him.
Yeah.
Because they had a similar thing where they had one creative outlet, and if you can
stop him,
immobilise it, then you've won. And we've been at that point, essentially, with Pogba, haven't we? Especially with the injuries we've had to the attacking players. Obviously, Rashford stepped up, but he's injured. Martial as well. But yeah, like I said, you can't man mark two men in a midfield.
There's always give and take. Danny Higginbottom really eloquently explains this as what they used to do as Stoke. You can't have everything your own way. You have to give the opposition something that enables you to be stronger somewhere else. So one of the things that they used to do was they used to give space down the wings. And they used to clog up the middle of the pitch because they also used to leave the grass longer and they used to warm up in the central areas. They used to do loads of little sneaky things, but they used to leave the wings. They'd leave space on the wings for the opposition, but that also meant that they left space on the wings for themselves. And they knew when they get the ball, they put it to the wings because they've got good delivery and they'll get on the back end.
And also, if players are putting crosses in against Stoke, good luck beating Ryan Shawcross and whichever rotating giant they've got next to him, 10 years ago. So yeah, they play to their strengths, but that's the thing. The more strengths you have on a pitch, the harder it is for someone to beat. Personally, I would love Pogba to stay on the proviso that he signs a new deal, because I don't want him going into what would be the second to last year of his contract. Basically, we get another year of is he going, is he not going, and his value is halved.
I'm sick of it though. I'm sick of this circus.
But I think half of the circus would be gone if he signed a new deal.
Well, this circus has been here since he's been here.
Yeah, but I just think it's because he's been the talisman of the team. He's been the one that was okay.
But
we've got
that was
more
the same
players to do
with
that
Brian Robson. That was the same with Eric Cantona.
Yeah,
and
Rooney was the same. The circus
there
around
was
Rooney
some circus around Rooney. There was a little bit of circus around Ronaldo, but it was never like this.
No.
And obviously he did end up leaving, but there's a way to do it. Now, the fact that his brother comes out and says he wants to go here is fucking downright disrespectful.
No good, is it?
The shit that Raiola's come out with when he criticised Paul Scholes, he's hammered. He really goes after Gary Neville.
And Solskjaer as well.
Yeah, and he's gone after Solskjaer. And you think there's a point where there's a line being crossed. And for me, loyalty is the number one thing in everything.
Yeah.
And I don't see loyalty out of the team surrounding Pogba, and they work for Pogba.
Yeah.
When you see his brother saying something, when you see Mino saying something, that might as well be him saying it. Pogba's not come out and denounced any of this. To me, doesn't seem like he's on board with this message. Solskjaer's trying to have a cultural reboot where everyone starts to have the same mentality and pulls in the same direction. Almost a no superstars work ethic.
Yeah.
Pogba's anti that. Sanchez is anti that. And I want to see us move on from that.
But do you think, like we said before, a Paul Pogba in a better side with more creative players, with more people, he'll get a bit more space on the ball, he can maybe do a bit more, less pressure on him to win us every game. Do you think that will fade away a little bit? Add to that, he's declared his, if he's got a 5-year extension, so he's here for another 5 years, that takes away some of the pressure of him leaving. Better players around him takes away some of the pressure of him on the pitch. Do you think there's no scenario where that circus disappears?
No, because it was prevalent at Juventus while he was there. When he first went to Juventus within 6 months, because he hit the team and was smashing it, the talk of him going to Barcelona was heavy. The talk of him coming back to United was heavy, instantly.
What do you think it is with him then? Obviously, we've talked about the manager, his agent and his brothers and stuff, and people coming out and him not really denying anything. But do you think there's another element to this? Do you think there's people...
This is how he left Le Havre to come to United in the first place. This is how he left United to go to Juventus. This is how he left Juventus to come to United. Are you not seeing the pattern?
Yeah.
This isn't going to end. This is the guy's character. And he might be a lovely bloke. There's nothing in this to suggest that he's anything but a lovely bloke.
Yeah.
Everything I hear about him...
people say that he is a lovely bloke.
Yeah, he is a lovely bloke.
Yeah.
But there's clearly some sort of itchy feet that he's got. And the circus that surrounds it. Now, are United a better club by keeping him? Yeah. Are United a worse club by losing him? Yeah. But I think fundamentally, if you're trying to build a team that's got a United mentality, this is the Coutinho moment for Liverpool. Liverpool aren't better letting Coutinho go to Barcelona. But if they are allowed to use the investment from that money into the players and buy players that fit what the manager's trying to do better, the Galacticos model doesn't work.
So you'd prefer a Grealish in place of a Pogba, but a Grealish that wants to be there, that talks about how much he loves the club, over...
Mate, if we go to a no superstars model of a team that just ruthlessly wins games, look at that Liverpool midfield. There are no fucking superstars in that midfield.
No.
It's a functional midfield that does stuff.
Yeah.
Bruno's come in, and because he's a quick player, he's quick up there and he's quick with the ball at his feet. Pogba can do that. But Pogba likes to take an extra touch.
Yeah, he does. But the thing with Pogba, I always thought, you watch him play. There was a game when I was at the game against City. I think it might have been the 2 hours before I met you, actually. That game, there were so many times where the defence just gives the ball to Pogba, and he turns and looks up, and there is nothing going on in front of him. So he dawdles on the ball, he comes back, you think, you watch it on telly, you just see Pogba there, you think, pass it where, No, the players weren't making the runs. There was a dejected, downbeat feel to most of his career at United, where it was a static, boring, tired team, full of players that were getting increasingly more sick of being at the club. I think we've got rid of a lot of that now. I think the runs are back. There's an excitement, there's an energy to the side. I think that will bring the speed out of him. I know what you mean, and I don't like the fact that it always feels like, what's going on with Pogba this week? It's like...
The fact that we're even doing this video, mate.
I know. But I just think if he signed a new deal, I think half of that just goes. I think some of that melts away because he can then come out and say, I'm committing my future to the club. I know we've had a lot of this stuff in the background, but I'm here now. I'm here to stay. I like the project. Surely that would... I don't know. I know what you mean.
Can you imagine him saying that, though?
If he signs a new deal, he's going to have to come up with some quote, and it can't be too... It's not going to be, I've signed a new deal, but who knows where I'll be next year. Surely. Assuming he gives the party line when he signs the deal, if he does sign the deal, I don't want to keep him for another year just to sell him next year, because then he's worth 40 million. And
like someone said on the news, though, you're paying him 6 times more than Bruno's getting.
Yeah.
If Bruno continues with the output that he's had, he's got to walk into the manager's dressing room and go, new contract time, gaffer, and I want to be paid as much or more than Pogba. And then you end up with this ridiculous scenario. Like, we're starting to bring in... like players on, like I hear Wan-Bissaka's on a normal wage for the level of transfer. I hear Maguire's on what I would consider, obviously not normal for general public, but normal footballer wage.
Yeah, he's not on 300 grand a week.
Yeah, certainly not what De Gea and Pogba and Sanchez are on. And I think that United probably need to move to an era past that.
I know what you mean. And Grealish is the one that's been talked up a lot. And presumably that deal would at least be questioned if Pogba stayed. But yeah, you'd imagine Grealish coming on something like 150 a week rather than the 400 that we're talking for Pogba. But Pogba's a world star. Pogba's probably in the top 5 most recognisable sports people on the planet. And maybe top 10 if you include all sports. But Jack Grealish isn't that. Bruno Fernandes isn't that. Part of the reason he gets more money is because he's so good, but it's because he brings eyes to the team. He buys shirt sales, that sort of thing. He sets us apart from other teams in the league because we've got this superstar. And with that, obviously, comes the circus and the fanfare that people don't like, but you can see why he gets paid so much.
Sir Alex Ferguson got rid of David Beckham in 2003 for a circus.
I just don't want him to.
The circus around Beckham was a probably equivalent to the circus around Rashford.
Yeah.
As in, they ain't a circus.
Yeah.
He's a very famous footballer, and that was the circus. And he had a pop star wife.
Yeah, after the World Cup stuff went, there was a circus around the World Cup. But then that went away for the next 4 years.
Because he was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. And I'm just thinking of an optimistic world where he signs the deal, all the bad stuff goes away, him and Fernandes are amazing together, and we sort of get 3rd next season and challenge for the Champions. Like, that's what I'm imagining and hoping for. But obviously that's the best case scenario. All it takes is... I mean, what if he's out injured all next season again? What if his ankles are gone? And then you can't sell him in 5 years, and we're paying 400 grand a week for someone who...
Maybe that's one of the issues we're having selling him.
Yeah, I don't know.
So maybe he has to come back and stay. He wants to stay. Otherwise, he ain't going to get played. And if you don't get played, he can't prove himself to be fit. And if he don't prove himself to be fit, he can't go to the Euros. You don't go to the Euros, he's not going to get a move. Like, there's a lot of political things at play that we as fans don't want to imagine happen, but they happen.
Because how often do players have basically a full season out for a no leg break, no knee injury, no severe injury that's like a recognisable, you've got a year out, but you'll come back from it. He's basically had a year out for bad ankles. And ankles are ones that sort of stick around, aren't they?
Well, yeah, I broke my ankle in 2008, and it still hurts occasionally.
You haven't played for Man United since?
Yeah, I haven't played a single Premier League game since.
And that is a worry. Right, speaking of Premier League and your lack of playtime...
Can we go fourth this week? Please. Please!
Technically we can.
Fucking...
And here's what has to happen. So we've got Aston Villa against Chelsea. Chelsea are away, but Villa are a terrible team. So
both of those things are accurate.
There's your two things fighting up against each other. Jack Grealish could do us a favour before he signs for us. Really jumping the gun there, but...
Do you know what they're missing? Axel Tuanzebe. They really are. I know they signed Tyrone Mings, but they are missing...
Well, they had Mings last season.
Yeah. They're missing Tuanzebe in a big way, I think.
Yeah, they're not very good at the
I
back.
wonder if we do bring in old Jackie Boy, if there'll be Levitt, Garner, Axel, Laird. Yeah. Because, I honestly think United really need to do that to help develop some of these youngsters that are on the cusp, maybe even Chong. Yeah. Have some people go the other way and help them out.
Yeah, maybe. What are you thinking for this one then? Villa at home to Chelsea. We could do with Chelsea losing, but they look like they're just tickling their way up a bit of form, don't they?
I don't know. I think they're iffy.
Yeah.
They are iffy, but they do have a lot of experience and quality in there that could carry them through a game. Is Abraham coming back?
Abraham, I think he's still out. Who else? Kovacic wasn't in for last game. I think he was suspended, so he should be back. I think they've got a couple of defenders injured as well. They've got injuries, but Villa are just so poor, aren't they?
Yeah, they're just lacking a lot. Did you watch them against Villa? Not against Villa. Did you watch them against Villa? It was like an inter-game. Against Leicester even.
I saw the highlights.
They were not good.
No. But if Villa win this game, they go out of the relegation spots somehow. I think they've got 25 points and a game in hand.
Come on, lads.
Yeah. So it could be huge for United. But United play after Chelsea. So even if Chelsea lose, we'll lose. Because that's what we've done, 10 times this season? Chelsea have dropped points and we've dropped points the same weekend? Insane. We've had a really good run of form and we've not changed a place in the league. How is that possible? How has that happened?
God,
we haven't lost in 10 games and we're still fifth.
Isn't it? It's horrendous.
It's amazing, though, how it goes to show, fifth when you're losing is awful, but fifth when you're winning, everyone's quite happy with Solskjaer at the minute.
Yeah.
You're only fifth when you're winning. That's what they say.
And what are we, 3 points away? 3 points away.
3 points, and we've got a 2 superior goal difference, which was cut a little bit by 2, because Chelsea were 4-0 against Everton last week. But obviously 2-0 at City. It's going to be a tough one.
I got to think Chelsea are going to win.
You got to win, yeah.
I got to.
Even with I think Abraham will still be out, but even if he's back, I just think... I think Giroud's underrated. I think that's why he's very poor and he's got no confidence at the minute, but... I just can't see how Villa's going to get a goal, get a win.
He looked amazing at Dortmund, didn't he?
Yeah, everyone looks amazing at Dortmund. Paco Alcacer looked amazing at Dortmund. And who did he play for? Someone, and wasn't very good. Yeah, people just get loads of... Honestly, I'm not joking. If you played me as a striker for Dortmund, every single game of the league, I'd probably get 5 goals in a season.
Red and black headband?
Red and black headband, Gucci as hell, and I'd get 5 goals for you. They'd be all terrible, but I stand on the penalty box, pull it back, tap. 5 goals.
Why are you playing up front? You play centre-half.
Yes, but I'm making the point about how many chances they create. I wouldn't get 5 goals from centre-back for him.
Might do.
Yeah, might do, actually, yeah.
Flying one from a corner.
Diving like I always
mate, I can't wait for some of these with Stretford Paddock FC. I am so excited for these.
Yeah, me too.
We've got our first 11v11 inter-game at the end of the month when it's international break. Do you guys want to come? Should I tell them where it is? Do you know what?
Yeah.
You tell me that you're interested, then I'll tell you where it is. How about that?
Nice. Keep them guessing. I like it.
I'm looking forward to that. I think McCullough's really playing. Who are they going to know that's going to be playing? Producer Cam's playing, so you can come and boo him.
Nice. Is McCullough any good at football?
He's aggressive.
I bet he's got good boots. I bet he's got really good boots.
He's quick.
I bet he's got some 99 Predators or something.
Yeah, some retros.
Proper 180 quid.
Joe's going to be playing. I'm trying to think who else you're going to know from there.
Alex?
Yeah, they know Alex, from Stretford Paddock.
Alex from Stretford Paddock. Will you be playing, Steve?
Absolutely not.
Will you be playing manager on the sidelines?
I will be playing the manager on the sidelines.
Nice.
But not involved, because what I'm looking for out of the Stretford Paddock 11v11 is what we've got. So I want to see the players, really. So I'm not going to give anyone any tactics. I'm just going to pick 11 on that side and 11 on that side. tell them to play a certain formation, and them a different formation, and then play. And then we've told our lads to bring a red top and a black top because we're going to be swapping players in and out as I try to assemble a starting 11.
It's going to be exciting.
It is going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to that. And then we've got, hopefully, people start getting in touch now for friendlies. Some of them are definitely going to be little sandbaggers that are going to put fucking 45 goals past us. But it's all good content, isn't it?
Semi-pro teams.
Like, yeah, we'll play you, lad.
Speaking of semi-pro teams,
Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur at the weekend.
Oh, my God.
Done you there, lads. Unlucky.
Jose Mourinho's worst ever run as a manager. That's not going to be extended this weekend, is it?
Did you watch him against Leipzig?
I saw bits of it, yeah.
They were
But
terrible.
Leipzig are a good team.
They're all right. Then they're third in the Bundesliga.
You're behind.
Dortmund and Bayern.
Right.
But it's not like they're crushing it. Tottenham have got the worst injuries in the league, even worse than United's now. We've sort of come back a bit.
Yeah, we have come back.
Theirs is hideous. Kane, Son, Bergwijn, Sanchez got injured the other day. Dele Alli's been injured for like 2 years, but he still plays because they ain't got no one else.
Hang on. Dyer's completely got away with getting in the crowd, hasn't he? That's just gone now.
Yeah, what's happened with that?
Fucking nothing.
But is it because he didn't actually do it?
Don't matter. I'm not allowed on the pitch. He ain't allowed in the stands. Them's the rules.
Is that the rules?
Might be. Sounds like a thing.
I know that you're not allowed on the pitch, but
That's all of you, by the way, not just me.
Are players not allowed in the stands? Because, like, Mo Farah always gets a flag out of the stands after he wins the Olympics.
Different sport.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it? What are you thinking then? United have won 3 of the last 4 against Tottenham, but the one that we didn't win, we
Do you know
lost
what?
3-0
Against
at
teams in the top 6, which doesn't include Tottenham, we're very good. Against teams that aren't, we're not as good, although we have started to improve that of late since that little Portuguese fella turned up. I don't want to go in confident, but everything points to United turning up and doing
Tottenham
this.
was so bad defensively against Leipzig, so
It's
impotent
gone
going
toxic,
forward.
It's rapid.
It's mad. Well, it's because they have got a horrendous amount of injuries. 2 all their best players out for long term.
That matters.
That really does matter, as we've seen with United.
And Jose isn't the guy to rally a team around him anymore. He's a bit bitter now, isn't he? He's got this almost like he's done with it almost. It feels, doesn't it?
It's like he's
lost his magic, his charm.
His charm.
Jose used to have a charm in the early 2000s. Jose was fucking handsome. He had hair. You know, he was so like slick.
Too much hair.
Yeah, it was beautiful. You rub your hands through it. Like everything about him was this oozing of confidence. He hadn't been sacked. He hadn't had everything he'd done.
He did what he wanted, and it worked.
Yeah.
Now he kind of does. He's at Tottenham for starters, which already feels like he's. Oh, I'm willing to take a pay cut. Oh, really? You seem overqualified for this job. Trust me, I need it. He's a bit like, do you know what I mean? And it's just, it don't feel right, does it?
I got something for you.
Go on.
Since Farrier left him at the end of the last season, the last full season he completed with United, his win percentage is 42%. You include the first, from up till December when United sacked him, which I believe was 24 games and 10 wins, and he's had 26 and 11 wins at Tottenham. 50 games. 21%, 21 wins, which is 42%.
Whilst I can't disagree with the stats on it, assuming they are right, which I am, there is always a tendency for people to like to pick the hidden reason why someone was successful. Like people are always like, oh, George Harrison was actually the reason the Beatles were successful. It wasn't Lennon and McCartney. When it's like they wrote 90% of the songs. Come off it. I just sort of think. I know what you mean, and he's such a big part of it. But I think in that time he was managing a poor Man United side and a poor Tottenham side with a
but his win ratio at United overall was like 58%. So it was distilled
it did go
bad.
After that. Yeah.
And there's probably other underlying factors like pre-season didn't go to plan. There was the signings didn't go to plan.
And it was his 3rd season when he always messes it up anyway. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's all a bit. I wonder if he's thinking about that. If you text him like, "What are you up to, lad?" No reply.
I don't have his number.
Jose's.
No, I've got Solskjaer's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Text him.
I've texted him. Don't worry. He ain't replied.
Hiya, mate.
I also think he changed his number.
Aww.
When he got the job at United. Because it's a plus. Our Norwegian viewers will be able to tell me, verify this one on this.
What's it called? It's not the sort code, is it? What's it called? The area code or something?
So I'd messaged him in August when Rennie Mullenstein gave us his number. Because I just texted Rennie and said, Rennie, have you got Solskjaer's number? He just sent me the number. But for our Norwegian friends, it's a +47 907 number.
Okay.
I wasn't going to read it all out. Kid, I'm not maniac.
What you should have done is, it'd have been a great idea. We set up a premium rate phone line and read it out, pretend it's Solskjaer's number. Every time someone rings or texts it, we get £2. Cut that. We'll put that in the next episode. But yeah, I think it almost is too perfect for us to win, isn't it?
Do you know what? While I'm thinking, I can't not do this. Yep. I'm going to see if he's on WhatsApp under that. Because that's the surefire way of finding out if someone's on it or not, isn't it?
Just going to WhatsApp Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I like how it says Mulder on it. Did you put that in?
I did.
Right, you didn't know who it was. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Oh, the one I know from Mulder. Not the one you know from Cheltenham.
It says company. I got to fill all the stuff in.
Mulder? That's a town. This is...
It's great telly, isn't it?
It is great telly, this.
There's someone else I texted and didn't reply.
He read it, though.
He did read it. So, I was just like, not...
To be fair, he was always good at reading the game.
Yeah. All right, it's not showing up on WhatsApp.
Not showing up, so it's either a fake number or he ain't got WhatsApp.
I reckon Rennie Mullenstein's got Ollie's number, though.
Yeah, but would he give it you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would. What are you thinking, then? Because it's almost too perfect for us to beat him, isn't it?
Draw.
Yeah, I think we'll see a draw. Spurs aren't winning 6 games. They look like they're falling apart. We're coming up. The pundits, the fans, newspapers finally starting to give us a bit of credit, give Solskjaer a bit of credit. It's just right for us to drop points, you know. Yeah, 1-1.
Yeah, score draw. That's what I'm feeling. Is anything happening around Europe?
No, not really.
No,
Dortmund play Schalke, 2nd v6.
Maybe.
And Italy is...
It's playing, isn't it? But it's behind closed doors.
No,
they cancelled it now?
Suspended.
Oh, shit.
Serie A has been suspended.
La Liga was behind closed doors.
Was it?
I think. There's talk of something in France too. There was talk Mbappe had it, but he just had a fever. Fever.
You'd almost be a bit gutted, wouldn't you, if you just got normal flu now?
Yeah,
At least give me the good one.
Can I not just say it's...
Views, innit?
Yeah. Oh. Who's the first YouTuber getting coronavirus?
Is he going to be?
I don't know.
I think Logan Paul will get it.
Bateson. No, you got to leave your house. It's got to be someone else like McCullough.
Yeah,
interviews too many people.
Everyone coughing at him after games.
Sorry.
Imagine if Adam McCauley got coronavirus. He'd get so many views.
He's here tonight.
Is he?
Yeah, so bring that hazmat suit.
Yeah, that's scary, isn't it? What about Super League then?
Oh, mate, it's absolutely hotting up now, isn't it?
Isn't it?
We're like half a dozen games in. Things are starting to happen. Things are starting to take place. There is a banger of a game which is going to be tomorrow night, which is Wigan versus Salford. The problem is Wigan are mint. Salford not so much.
Salford ain't.
Jackson Hastings' first game back at Salford, or is it? Because he posted this on his Instagram story yesterday.
Don't look good, does it?
Whiplash. Convenient, Jackson.
Yeah, it's slightly convenient, but would he be that bothered about playing against Salford, do you think?
I don't know. I think he was really taken to heart by Salford fans.
Salford,
obviously, one man of steel, like the first player that's even been close to it, let alone actually winning it for Salford. Phenomenal performance, really got us over the line, and was like probably the major reason that we ended up in the grand final last season. And he started off brilliantly. He just slotted straight into that Wigan team, who do look deadly, and I don't fancy Salford tomorrow night against Wigan. I think they're going to absolutely smash them. Wigan, top of the league. Salford obviously got that one win against Toronto. Haven't picked up a win since. So Wigan have been flying, 5 wins, 1 loss. And although they've not actually smacked anyone, like they've not really destroyed anyone, not really like battered someone and run away with it, they look really consistent. And I think they're probably going to go the whole way, I think.
Speaking of battered someone and running away with it, my team, Leeds.
2 weeks deep now with them, yeah.
2 weeks deep into being a Leeds fan. We 66-12 against Toronto last week.
Toronto are shit, aren't they?
No, Leeds are just cream of the crop.
No, they're shit. They're handing out wins for everybody, aren't they?
Yeah, and everyone can see that. No one's predicting anything other than that, surely.
Well, Joe, I think a lot of people thought the impact of Sonny Bill would have a bigger impact.
Yeah.
And, well, it's not.
No.
Ultimately. I think we've got David on the line. David, how are you?
Hi, guys. Yeah, not bad.
I think you got a tip for us for Leeds this week, haven't you, for Joe's lifelong team?
Yeah. I'm back in Leeds to go to France and beat Cheltenham.
I'll say.
And they're both playing well. Got to admit that. But I think I was already tipping Leeds, but now that it's behind closed doors, I think that helps Leeds a lot more than it'll help Catalan. I've been lucky enough to see a few games live at Catalan, and that crowd, they are loud. They're very loud and cheering on the Dragons, and I just think that with nothing there, Leeds will be too strong.
Are they planning on going back to the new camp again this season?
No, they tried to do something with Toronto somewhere else. I don't think it was a new camp, but all this coronavirus stuff is stopping any plans. So it would be great to take a game back to new camp. I was there last year, and it was an amazing occasion. So we'll see, but I don't fancy him this weekend. No Sam Tompkins. I just don't think they'll trouble Leeds at all.
No, what's changed with Leeds? Because last season they were just well off it, weren't they? And this season they do look like they could be serious contenders.
The first game of the season against Hull, we thought, here we go again, same old Leeds. But I don't know. I think Luke Gale's fully fit now, and Conrad Hurrell, I wouldn't want to stop him. So don't think anyone else wants to.
No, they do have a couple of big old boys in there, to be fair. Yeah, NRL starts this weekend as well. What are you thinking for that?
Just 8 games this weekend. I think the main game is Manly versus Melbourne on Sunday. Melbourne are always up there. I think they've finished the minor premiers 3 times out of the last 4 years. But I'm backing Manly in this one. There's just some of the Daly Cherry Evans and Tom Trebojevic, if that's how you say it. Just 2 quality players, and I think at the start of the season at Manly, I think they'll do it for me.
Who you thinking for the whole thing? You can go in Roosters again?
It's really hard to go against them, to be honest. But I think either them or Souths. I like Latrell Mitchell a lot, and I think he'll add a lot to him this year. But again, don't write Manly off.
It's interesting what happens with them without having Burgess in the mix as well, because obviously he was an unbelievable player for him. Russell Crowe's team, by the way.
Can I just stop you for a second?
Go on.
NRL. New rugby lads? What is this? For those of us, I've only just got my head around Super League.
National
and
Rugby
now we're
League.
talking about Latrell Mix or whatever he's called.
Yeah, National Rugby League. National Rugby League. NRL, National Rugby League is the the name of it. It's the Australian version of Super League.
Right, okay, there we go.
So you're just sitting
the
there
Roosters, because I heard some teams called Manly.
Yeah.
One's called Roosters, Latrell Mix. I don't know what's going on. This is a new league I have to worry about.
Yeah.
And this is Australian, and they're really good.
Yeah, I think the standard of the NRL's probably a good level, would you say at least, David, above what you're getting in Super League. Players that are fairly ordinary come over and look ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Jackson Hastings being one, he didn't even know for sure if he had a career, like 18 months ago, comes to Salford, wins Man of Steel at a canter, pretty much.
There you go.
So who did you say you was backing for the whole thing, do you reckon, David?
Roosters or the Bunnies.
Yeah, which is, like we said, that's Russell Crowe's team. He's the owner. He's the team owner.
Didn't we were talking last week about, or the other week, about Giants, Dragons, sorry, Giants, Dragons, Wolves, Wolf Packs, all these dangerous-looking items, Roosters and Bunnies.
They're called Rabbitohs, which I don't know if there's an equivalent in English.
Yeah.
It's basically rabbits. Yeah.
They're Canberra puppies or something. It's all they're all little cute animals. There's got to be some with a bit of danger in there.
Melbourne Storm.
Perth Rhinos, isn't it?
Bit of cloud.
Storm, yeah. Overcast. soft to heavy or whatever it is.
Bulldogs. See, bulldogs are just lazy though, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're just like getting a belly rub.
They used to bite bulls, and now they just lay down and slaver everywhere.
Yeah, and a symbol of racism and stuff. Yeah, dragons.
Okay, there we go. We can have a little dragon on dragon fight.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah, dragons. I'm trying to think of something. Yeah, a sea eagle.
A seagull.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a seagull.
Got to get a sea eagle.
They're trying to make it seem scarier than it is. It's a seagull.
All right, nice one. Cheers, David.
All right, cheers, lads.
Is there any racing on this week?
Horse racing?
Yeah, horse racing.
I don't know, actually. Do they always... They put some on sometimes, don't they?
What was it?
Guys, come on. You know the answer to this. Every week I say there's racing on every day. Come on. And not only is there racing on every day this week, it's the Cheltenham Festival.
Cheltenham Festival. Hooray! In Cheltenham. Is there a bigger thing that happens in Cheltenham than the Cheltenham Festival?
There's a Cheltenham Book Festival.
No.
There's coronavirus festivals, probably. That's what we'll call this one, I think. If you know anyone who's been to the Cheltenham Festival, I'd avoid them for the next few weeks. That's my big tip of the week.
All right, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Right, so I believe by the time this comes out, well, it's coming out Thursday morning, actually, so we could actually have a look at Thursdays if you really wanted to, but really, we want to talk about the Gold Cup, don't we?
We want to talk about the Gold Cup, the only race that counts, really, from now to Friday. The best horses, the best race, the biggest prize money, 75,000 fans coughing and sneezing into their tissues while they're watching. It's going to be a great watch.
Is there a way we can bet on how many people the camera will zoom in on with face masks?
No, I'm surprised there's a few bookmakers haven't missed a trick by sort of branding up some face masks and handing them out there. Probably should have done it myself, actually. Could have made a few quid. But then died of coronavirus, so, swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, not great, is it?
So who's winning the Gold Cup then, Ross?
Right, so it's going to be a repeat of last year. So last year's winner is going to win again. The name is Album Photo. Only 2 horses since 1970 have ever won back-to-back Gold Cups. So he's going against history, but he's got all the makings of a top-class horse. He's already done it. He's proved he can do it at the course, over the trip, on the same ground as what they'll be this year. So there's nothing not to like. So just go back, watch the video from last year and expect to see the same again on Friday.
Cheltenham's a bit of a slog, isn't it? Like, the course is like, it's actually a bit of a grafty course, isn't it?
Yeah, and the Gold Cup is a real slog. They go really fast the whole way, nearly 3.5 miles. You need a horse that's going to stay the trip. You need stamina, which this horse has got. And so you need stamina if you're in the stands to last 4 days of the Cheltenham Festival. But what better way to end it than with a Gold Cup winner, Album Photo. There you go.
Do you know the other 2 horses that have won
Hang on. Album Photo?
Yeah,
like photo album?
Yeah, but they can't have another. There's probably been a horse called Photo Album in the past.
It's what?
Album Photo.
Yeah, but we know what they mean.
What are the other 2 horses that have won it back-to-back? Do you know?
Yeah, you got Lescargo, won it in the 70s, and Best Mate won it at the turn of the year, 2001 to 2004. I think he won it 3 times in a row.
Wow, Best Mate, eh? Do you know with horse racing, right? Do you know you say it's a bit of a slog? Obviously now there's loads of cameras and stuff, so it's hard to get away with it. But did anyone ever really, like... What I'm asking is, in terms of cheating, did anyone ever, like, pop some wheels on, like, a rocking horse and put an engine on it or anything like that? Is there ever been any, like, crazy cheating?
No, but there's a famous story that one of the former champion jockeys tells, John Frankham, who it was, this is before there were cameras everywhere and there was just one camera on the race and it was foggy, and down the back straight he decided to miss out 3 fences and just come round the fences, and he won the race.
I thought you were going to say someone was riding an ostrich instead or something like that.
I think you'd notice.
2 ostriches sellotaped together.
Yeah, I think you'd notice. Be quick, though.
Can they jump? Can ostriches jump?
Well, if they're missing the fences anyway, I suppose they don't need to.
Yeah.
True.
I think you've got bigger fish to fry than whether or not they can jump. The fact it's 2 pissing ostriches sellotaped together is a big giveaway.
Who knows? Now, if they're going to shut down all the football events because of this virus, we could do some maybe ostrich racing, get that in the betting shops.
I think ostrich racing's a thing.
It probably has got to be. Even smaller jockeys.
Even smaller
Very
jockeys.
light.
I had a question, and it was a serious question, and he just totally derailed me. No, yeah, it was the odds. What's the odds on Photo Album?
Is 9-2.
9-2.
That's not. You like a 9-2, don't you?
Yeah, that's in the ballpark. I like to win 7s and 8s. It's worth winning, but it's also generally in and around someone that's going to be doing something. And I believe that's where Sir Alex Ferguson's horse is around about 8-1, is it?
Yeah, he's good mates with the owner of Clan des Obeaux, who's also running in the Gold Cup. And that's a really good horse too. Won one of the major trials for this race, the King George, over Christmas. So he's about 8-1, 9-1. But he ran in this race last year, didn't get home up the hill. His stamina ran out. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it again. He'll probably be there turning into the home straight, but then the petrol tank will empty and he'll be on fumes coming up that hill at the end.
What if he's been working out with Rocky Music on though?
Well, yeah. Well, I didn't consider that possibility. You've won me over.
Trotting up them steps on Philadelphia. Could be.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with that. I'm going to back Fergie.
Okay.
I'm going to go with him. What's it called? Clandazobo?
Yeah, Clandazobo.
So I'm going to go with him, and that's going to be my tip for the Gold Cup. What do you want to give us yours again?
Yeah, it's album photo, last year's winner. We'll do it again.
Interesting. All right, cheers, Ross. We'll see you next week.
Cheers, guys. See ya.
So that about wraps it up, done it for this week.
Just does, doesn't it?
So wash your hands, wipe your ass, stay safe.
Wipe your hands, wash your ass as well.
All that, yeah. It's probably a
wash it
better
all.
thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Get a toilet that washes it for you. They do them.
They do them.
They're expensive, but I reckon it's probably worth it.
I don't know.
Do you not think?
No. I've got an hairy bum.
Okay. That's going to be difficult, isn't it?
Are you doing anything this weekend, Joe?
I want to go and see some sports, mate.
Right.
We keep talking about it. Give me some.
Luckily, we did book, and tomorrow night we are going. Friday the 13th of all days. We are going to go check out Wigan versus Salford in what's probably going to be an absolute spanking for Salford.
A blowout.
Yeah.
Well,
So that's
I would love Salford to win, so it gives my Leeds a bit of way to catch up the old Wigan, but don't seem like it, does it? Why? I feel bad for Salford. Where do they play again? What's the ground called?
AJ Bell.
Any good?
No, because it's in the estuary of one of the rivers coming out of town, and one of the stands is bigger than the rest, which means it's like a big wind trap in that stand, and it's freezing.
Is it? Yeah. It's right near Trafford Centre, isn't it?
Right near.
Interesting. Should be good though.
Yeah, you look forward to it. This is your first Super League game?
Never seen a Super League game. Never actually seen a rugby game in the flesh, except my under-7s rugby tournament that we played up at St John's, where I think we got to the semi-final. Just give the ball to Richard Snowden, let him plough through everyone.
Snowden?
Yeah. Big lad. Good lad.
No, man.
Oh yeah, he lives in the Ecuadorian embassy now, but back in the old days, he was really good at children's rugby.
Fair play. What are you guys up to this weekend? Let us know which sporting events you're going to. The weirder, the better. Hit us on Twitter. Hit us in the comments below. Let us know, because obviously, all right, we're going watching rugby, which is something I do. So
A bit mainstream, innit?
it is mainstream. It is mainstream. But if you're at the AJ Bell tomorrow night, pop over, come and have a pint with us, and enjoy the game. And that's it from us this week on the Fixture List. Make sure to check out all of the guys from Katina Sports Network below. We've got Betting Pro, we've got GG, and we've even got Squawker in there as well if you want some tips for the football that is actually happening this weekend. But thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. Go give Joel a follow on the old Twitter machine. And we'll see you next week. Latest.